It is round 3 of the eSpark FilterTime series from the home of Super Speedway Racing, Daytona International, and we say good evening, race fans, from the virtual Daytona. I'm Zane, the bearded one, out without my partner in crime tonight. HD Motorsports is not here. He is currently away doing some things he's got to play. He may be under the weather. We don't have a lot of information, so I am riding solo tonight, but we want to thank you for joining us here for the FilterTime eSpark series from Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's going to be a hot one under the lights tonight on a Sunday night, and it's round 3. It's me by myself as well. We're going to have Dohar in the booth. We have some great pre-race interviews with Stout Whiskey, Mr. Track Bar, Freddie, and more, as we talk about the race before the race, the pre-race interviews. And let's talk about points just a little bit here as we go into the race tonight. Lucky Dog won three in a row already if you count the Homestead Miami race at the end of last season. He took the first 2 races in championship style, picking up where he left off. Right now, he leads the points by about 3 points from what I'm looking at here at the points board. We don't have a graphic at the moment. We're going to talk to Track Bar about why we don't have a graphic. But let's run through the top 5, top 10. Right now, sitting on top of the pedestal is Lucky Dog. Behind him, In-Car Racing. Sitting back in third will be Dohar. We'll talk to him later on in the race. Element sitting fourth. Tom Flitty rounding out your top 5. Sitting in 6th in the points will be Aviator, then Asylum, J-Mac, Leafs Justin, and rounding out the top 10, Mr. Diamond. So a lot of actual good racers there in the top 10. Some shakeups, though. You don't see the types like Rose that HD talks about as being the man, the myth, the legend inside this series. Now a rookie riding those yellow rookie stripes. And then Mr. Track Bar. He's sitting all the way back in about 28th position outside the top 25 in points. Had a rough season already, but he's looking to bounce back tonight. And let's see if we can't talk to a few drivers here to start off the show. See if we can't find him right now. Let me see if I can pull him in here. Mr. Track Bar, the one and only Track Bar. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. So you won here last season at Daytona under the yellow flag, came out on the last lap, and you're having a rough season so far. Do you think this is a track to help you bounce back and actually put yourself back in contention in the points as you're sitting about 28th right now?
We will see if my name changes over to Michael Waltrip or not. Probably, but I mean, it all depends. Daytona's a real luck track and all that. It don't matter how good some other tracks or whatever. Everybody has the same equal chance here. And like I said, like it's just a big luck track. Like somebody could be at the front and take out the whole field, and you're at the back screwed the whole race. It's not easy to go up to the front here and everybody's riding the bottom line. So strategy and all that play and all that, like from the back, or get me up to the front, give me a shot at winning this race.
Well, let's talk real quick. I know you guys about to hit qualifying. What is it about the changes this season? It seems like last year you were able to get off pit road with ease. You're one of the best at green flag stops. This year it seems like that's been your Achilles heel. What have you and your team worked on to get prepared for here? Because it is a hard left-hand turn, slowing that car up to get down pit road under pit speed.
I mean, I ain't gonna make no excuses or anything, but like to begin with, we all got a brand new wheel for the pro. I never adjusted my brake pedal, and my first time ever trying it really was on the first race, Gateway and stuff, and you see how that went. And I thought I fixed it for Chicago, but I got in the pits way too hot and all that, just trying to make up time after I got put in the wall, and just everything just went downhill from there. So I've learned what I needed to adjust on. I've been working on my brakes all week, especially Pro League's going to Watkins Glen this week and getting everything all situated with it, getting all the bugs out of the wheel and trying to get it all done. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's driver error. It's all that. The guy who's apparently won the first race of the Pro League season can't even get on the pit road. So hopefully that don't happen anymore.
Well, good luck to you tonight, Track Bar. We'll go ahead and let you get focused into qualifying, and hopefully we'll talk to you in victory lane at the end of the race.
All right, thank you, man.
Thank you. And that was Mr. Track Bar. He won here last season almost, I would say about 5 months ago here at Daytona. Now he's going to be starting to try to qualify, sitting outside the top 25 in points. These drivers are qualifying right now, so we'll let them qualify here a little bit. But what I want to run through is just a little bit of some statistics. Let's take a look at our FilterTime track facts for tonight. It's round number 3 of 16. It's 80 laps here at Daytona, 200 miles. Once again, Daytona International Speedway is the place located in Daytona Beach, Florida. the 2.5-mile super speedway where the draft is going to play a factor. These drivers know they need to be able to suck in, suck up, find a way to get around. What we've historically seen, though, is a lot of bottom feeding on that bottom of the yellow line. We probably expect everyone to have those left side tires right on that yellow, trying to force the guys to pass them on their outside. Corner banking is 31 degrees. Pretty steep banking, as we can see here from some of the camera shots. The Trial's got an 18 degrees of banking, and then like we've been talking about, our last time we came here, Mr. Track Bar won in that 37 Natty Lights Chevrolet under yellow, since he took the white flag and the caution came out at the very end there. So he's hoping to repeat, but he's been having a rough season. So, and it's really interesting when we talk about this race and how it actually happens here, because it's a super speedway racing. I like to call it a chess match at 200 miles plus an hour. You got to be able to outthink the drivers in front of you, behind you, and try to figure out the perfect time to make that run to the front. Do you sit back and wait? And this is usually where I would lean on HD Motorsports and ask him, hey, when would you try to make your move? Would you wait till the end, the last 20 laps to start picking your way off, or do you want to be up front? He's not here. So as a guy who is one of the most winningest drivers in my old leagues at super speedways, I'm going to say I like to sit in the back. I like to pull a Dale Jarrett. Let me ride in the back for the first, 50, 60% of the race, then start to make my way up front. My biggest concern at a super speedway is going to be the eye of the storm, the center. What's going to happen when guys start to actually slice and dice and make those moves? You got to start out thinking the guys in front of you, like I talked about. Those guys are going to be looking in their rear view mirrors. They're going to make sure no one can make those passes on them. We're going to see a little bit of that side draft used. It doesn't have a lot of, it's not advantageous to try to use the side draft in NASCAR Heat 4, but there is a little bit there where you can try to pull that guy back a little bit. But it's not like iRacing where the draft is one of those things that you have to know how to use the air. But there are some drivers in this league who can see the air in 4K. So it's going to be an interesting race and overall. It's race number 3. It's still early enough in the season where you can make up some of those big points that you're losing. We may see some first-time winners here tonight because it is Daytona. Anything is possible when you come to a super speedway. So it's one of those tracks I'm actually excited to watch for. Last season, Daytona was a really good race in a sense because there was a lot of guys pushing the issue early on. We saw a lot of late cautions. And speaking of cautions, let's head over to our over-under game on the Vegas odds. Now, as we know, Nicky Jobs, my favorite bookie out in Vegas, doesn't want to talk to me no more. I found out I lost him a lot of money, and I stiffed him with the bill at the buffet. It's one of the reasons he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. But I did get him on the phone. I talked to him for a little bit. He's actually saying tonight here at Daytona, he's going with 7 over on cautions, which I think is a pretty good number because of what can happen here. A lot of big ones like we saw here, or saw today at the iRacing Pro Invitational. There was a couple of wrecks, couple of big ones that happened. Think about 4 or 5. So tonight, you may see 7 over, and Nicky Jobs brought a good point that it is a super speedway racing within NASCAR Heat and the way things work out. Some drivers just may be put in a situation that they didn't mean to be put into, and that's what causes those incidents. For me, myself, I'm actually going to say, based off what we saw last week and the week before, I'm going to go 4 under. I think we're going to see about 4 cautions, but we could see less. These drivers have really shown they've matured behind the wheel. They're starting to understand the other drivers' tendencies on the track, and they're able to put those cars in the positions they need to be dominant, strong, and safe. Patiently aggressive is the big thing. So I'm also looking like we're not getting any of one of our other interviewers tonight. So, Freddie will not be on the list. He's getting bumped, but it's quite all right. Let's see here, though. He's just stepping out of the car right now. I think he's getting out of the car right now, and I'm with him. The man, the myth, Stout Whiskey. Stout, how you feeling tonight, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good, Zane.
Hey, Stout, you're sitting pretty far back in the points right now, about 29th, outside the top 25, just like Track. We're actually one position behind him. Do you think Daytona is the track that's going to help you turn around that momentum to move you up in that points ranking? What are you looking for to get out of this 2.5-mile super speedway?
Honestly, Zane, I'm not here for points anymore. I kind of points race last year and stumbled the last 3-4 weeks of the season, ended up finishing 10th. I just had some bad luck the first 2 weeks of the season. I got disconnected at WWT getting on pit road, and I got used up pretty bad last week. Let some guys know. So the rest of this year is going to be a fun run. I drive clean, but I'm here to win. I'm not a not a big super speedway man, but I'm actually pretty good at it. So we'll see how it goes tonight.
So you're looking for a little bit of retribution, would you say, here tonight at Daytona?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to, I challenge the guys in our messenger chat to get up on the wheel and race tonight and make sure this is not boring, from your standpoint, being up in the booth. And I can promise you, if the 2-car has a chance, I'm going to make sure this is a show.
Well, final question, where are you rolling off the grid tonight?
I will be starting in 12th place.
Outside the top 10, that's going to be Stout Whiskey in that Ford number 2. Take a look. Keep an eye out on him. He's looking for a little bit of retribution. Stout, thank you for your time, and good luck to you, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Zane.
Thank you. All right, and now we're going to try to pipe in the man, the myth, the Doharian Snowcat, as Red calls him, Mr. Tyler Dohar. Tyler, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, Zane. We're starting deep in the pack, but I know we've got a very, very fast FilterTime Chevrolet. We're feeling good on the wheel for this one. We're starting in the back with our teammates. Moordog, Track Bar, we're all starting in the back, but we're going to be ready to make some noise and be out in the front here before it's all said and done.
Is this a friends and family chassis works kind of teammates, or is this just manufacturer teammates?
This is like friends and family kind of like working together. We're all just trying to help out each other, trying to get Track Bar out of the hole he dug himself in points. We coached him into getting on pit road. I was practicing with him as he got onto pit road in practices just a couple minutes ago. So he's yelling at me now because he hears me throwing him under the bus. But we had to help him out, Just like he helps out Tedeschi, we got to help him out sometimes. So that's what we try and do.
And that's something you would normally never hear is Mr. Track Bar needing some coaching on pit road. So it's going to be quite an interesting race tonight. And a cool, interesting fact I don't think a lot of people know tonight is there will be a special in-car camera with you where we'll actually get to watch and sneak in on you as you race here tonight without you knowing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to bring this for the first time ever in a community league. It's going to be really fun because I know you're going to need to lean on me for a lot of information. So feel free just to mute me whenever and then pipe up to me whenever you need some info. But I love you. I know you're going to call this race. You got enough energy to be 3 different people in the booth. So I'm really excited to hear how you can bring this race. Hopefully we just give you something good to call and a Rack Fest.
I could be Larry, Daryl, Mike Joy, Michael Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earn, all of them at once if I needed to, but it's going to be an interesting race tonight. It is Daytona. What is your strategy here tonight as you guys are getting ready to load in? I got your invite, by the way, so I'm ready to start when you are. So if you want to kick off the timer while we're chatting here real quick.
Yeah, we're going to kick off the timer, but my strategy is going to be, since we're starting deep in the field, 21st, so not too bad. But since we're starting pretty much mid-pack, we're just going to ride around and take it cautious. We don't want to get damage here early on. Caution flags are on, of course, and black flags, but no stages. So just whenever the wrecks happen, we'll just be taking it pretty easy. I think it's the strategy we're going to go for tonight.
Gotcha. Well, good luck to you, Tyler. I'll let you get focused here. We'll check in with you before you hit the green flag. But right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break from our beautiful sponsors, FilterTime, and we'll be right back with you in a few moments.
Hi, I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr. As busy as I am, I'm all the time forgetting to change my air filters. And that can drive up my energy bill, and it can wreck my HVAC system. Hi, I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr. As busy as I am, I'm all the time forgetting to change my air filters. And that can drive up my energy bill, and it can wreck my HVAC system. But now I have FilterTime, a box of brand new filters that get shipped right to my front door automatically, reminding me to change them. It's the same.
Have Dohar with us right now still, and as we talked about in the pre-race, there he is on camera live for you from the Dohar cave. Got his nice Fanatec wheel, got his little proper branding in the background, but we're going to peep in with him throughout the race. But there he is on his awesome looking wheel. And chat, I want to go to you. Who do you guys think will actually win tonight? Who's your money on? I didn't pick my over-unders or my picks, so we'll do it real quick while we're loading in here. I'm going to actually go with Big John as my dark horse, and I'm going to throw it towards, you know what, I'm going to say Element. Element's going to be my pick to win. He was strong last week, up front all week. It's Daytona, anything can happen, but you know what, I'm going to ride that Element hype all the way into this race here as the drivers are ready. The crowd is ready. And green flag is out. We say green flag racing here in Daytona, round number 3 of the eSpark series. And it looks like Freddie in that 19 is going to start out on pole. Not messing around. Look at him 2 by 2 by 2. No one's getting out of line. Staying all nose to tail as they come through 2. Behind them, the 21. And that's going to either be Slade or Fluffy. Hard to tell right now. I think that is going to be Slade. In that 21, it could be Fluffy. We'll find out more. Behind them is the 95. Now we're starting to see that inside line start to single file out all the way back to about 6th place. Behind them, it's a gaggle of cars, all 2 by 2, all the way back to 35th. But still, it's Mr. Freddie leading us to the first green flag. He's going to lead the first lap. The 21 behind him, the 95, the 71. And I think that's going to be the 38 of Element sitting back there. Can't quite tell what the numbers. We'll see if we can't get a look. One of our new shots here. Let's see if we can't find it. There's the drone shot looking down at this battle for second. Look at the 21 stuck right on the bumper of the 19. As we look off the rear deck lid, back off of Freddie to the 20. I'm sorry, that's Word Burton. I apologize. Freddie's not driving that. Freddie's in the 00 this year. Word Burton in the 19. Looking off his rear deck lid. Started on pole last week. Once again picking up where he left off. And look at the line. Everyone's single file now all the way back to about 20th. No one wants to get out of line. I think they're going to ride these first couple of laps just to feel the cars out and see how they handle. Oh, we got a car to the inside. Inside retaining wall. I think that's going to be the 22 of Badeshi. Let's see if we can't take a look. As they're starting to get a little bit cramped coming through 4 right now. The 1 car. That's going to be a more smoke. The 34 behind him, that's going to be a little snack. We're watching this action as they're bobbing and weaving, but they're still going straight. Great hands by those drivers. And Word Burton during that got shuffled out. That's going to move him all the way back to about 6th place. New race leader, the 21 behind him, the 95. And Word fell all the way back to about 20th. But now we got a 5-car, 6-car breakaway up front. That second pack trying to get in line to run down these 6 cars. The 95, the 17, the 4. That's going to be the 00 in that brightly colored car back there, 5th in line. Here we are again going into turn 1. And while they're driving into turn 1, let's take a look at him. There he is. Tyler Dohar working that wheel. Look at him focused and determined right now, doing everything he can to stay in line. But he's doing all right. Look at him, a little bit of shift work right there. Playing with the buttons. He's not focusing on driving. He's texting and driving now, it looks like. No. Oh, that mic is muted. Yeah, don't worry, you're good. Don't worry about it, Dohar. Dohar is texting and driving. He's wondering why he couldn't hear me in Discord. He wanted to hear my beautiful voice. Don't worry, the fans at home can hear my voice, Dohar. It's quite all right. The 21 still leading this pack. The 95 in tow. No one's peeking out of this top 5. A little bit of bobble, a little bit of windshield wiper driving coming off of 2. The 21 puts those tires all the way down to the bottom yellow line. And I talked about this during pre-race. Nobody's going to want to peek up and peek out. They're going to stay on that bottom line. And this is what historically you'll see at the plate racing in NASCAR Heat 4. The drivers will prefer to use the bottom groove. They'll bottom feed most of the race. They know they can't get that run that they used to be able to on the high line. So they're kind of either forced to shove the guy out of their way or make the guy in front of them make a mistake. And that's what we're watching right now. You saw Word Burton. He was up front. Now he got shuffled all the way to the back. It's the 21, the 95, the 17, the 4, and the 00, your top 5. That 17 up, Big John Stud, my middle name Mud. He's riding a line. You got to wonder, when is he going to get impatient? Now the outside line is starting to form up a little bit. He's going to pop out a line. No, he's not. That's going to be the double zero. He thought about it. Freddie, he's going to fall back to the inside line and not move. Oh, there's a lot of wall banging, but everyone's still going straight deeper in the pack. Let's see if we can't bounce through here. And there we are, looking at Freddie in that double zero. He's sitting in that, right in front of that second pack behind the 37. Sorry, that's going to be the 36. I apologize, of Mr. Austin Dillon 3. He's going to get a shot from Freddie in the double zero now. Freddie sneaking up to that bumper. That pack, though, that second pack, trying to still get in line and make their moves. Big John got out of the inside line. He's now to the outside. No help with him. He's going to fall back. He's got to hope that the gap is still there before the second group catches him. Move John all the way back to 6th place now as he's trying to stay with this front pack. And there's Brian Tedeschi about to go a lap down. We saw earlier he got sideways off turn 2, smacked the inside retaining safer wall, but here he is now in fear of going a lap down as the 21 is starting to put the pressure on. Again, Big John looks to the outside. He has no help with him. The 95 now sneaks out. Now they're going to go around the 22. Brian Tedeschi going a lap down, and this is where it's going to get really scary. Because is he going to pull a Leffler as they go into turn 2? He's going to get in line, let these guys race it out, but the 95 in no man's land, no help. The double zero of Freddie now out on the outside groove. The 36 gets shot up the track. Now we have 2 lanes forming, 2 by 2 by 2, and here goes the 21. He's going to move to the outside. That's going to open the door for the 4 car. He's getting pushed by the 22 of Brian Tedeschi. Try to get up front here. And now Brian Tedeschi trying to save this lead lap. He doesn't want to get swallowed by the pack. The 4 car seems to be content just following him. And that 4 is going to be Mr. J-Mac Attack and that Ford Mustang. Behind him, though, the 37 of Track Bar, the 17 of Big John, the 13 of Mr. Lucky Dog. He has been the dominant car all season long, and now he's made his presence felt as he's found his way battling side by side in the top 5. Coming through the tri-oval. It's still going to be the 4 car of J-Mac Attack leading that lap. 69 laps remaining in this race, and they're already starting to get racy. 3 wide up front. Track Bar looking to the outside. Can he clear the 4 of J-Mac? He does. Move Track Bar up front. J-Mac to second. Lucky now having to pump the brakes a little bit as the inside line is starting to stack up, but that outside line has not formed. Nobody can really make a push. You got the 95 and the double zero out there, but nobody can really catch up to him. There you see the 38 of Element, my pick to win tonight. He's sitting back in 5th behind, or sorry, 3rd or 4th in that line because the 22 is a lap down. He is not racing for a position, but he is used as a mobile roadblock or a possible safe gap to give these guys a little bit of extra fuel. They can sit behind, use him as a draft, let him do all the legwork. But you have to wonder how much of that 22 is starting to slow up that line, keeping them from hitting the max speed they need to get around this 2.5 mile super speedway. Down the backstretch, look at the outside line starting to form up again. They're trying to make a push. That's the 2. That's the 2 of Stout Whiskey. We talked to him. He's not racing for points, he's racing for wins. He's stuck to the outside of the 13 as they come to the tri-oval. Through the tri-oval this time, still Track Bar is going to lead them. Through turn 1 and 2, here they come from the nice little FilterTime digger cam, close up and personal for you. Looking off the rear deck lid of the Ford, there you see the 13 of Lucky Dog, our points leader and last season's champion. He's riding in line. The 11 of Captain now sneaking to the outside. That outside line's only got 3 cars. No help, though. No help. And there's the 17, though. He's going to be pushing a little bit, squeezing that inside line. Big John is trying to slow up that momentum. Back off the front end of the 4. Look at him pushing, beating and banging that 37. But still, using Brian Tedeschi track bar is to pull him around here at Daytona as they go into turn 1. So we look down from the blimp cam. There you see the gap from first place to second as they battle the 11 and the 4. The outside line now starting to get a little bit organized. The 11 getting pushed by the 17. The 17 by the 95. Here comes the 71 now. That's a number we haven't seen much of. The 71 of Rocky Top. And now they're making a power move on the outside. Move the 11 up front. The 17 in tow. But it's not enough to clear the 37 of track bar. And look at Brian Tedeschi. Brian Tedeschi's almost moving up to block a little bit for track bar. This is going to make some guys angry. The 11's only going to take so much before they finally decide to dump the 22 to let them go by. But that outside line now, 5 cars deep, really making a power move. And Brian Tedeschi again squeezing a little bit up on that high line. Down the backstretch, it's a drag race. And the 17 of Big John seems to cut the lane. He's going to dive to the inside. He's going to bring the 71 with him. Now it's a 2x2, 2-wide freight train off of turn 4. The 17, the 11, the 71, the 22, who's a lap down on the outside, the 11, the 95, the 00, racing it back to the line and give that lap to Big John. He's going to lead one as Big John Nation is on their feet as they go into turn 1. Green flag pit stops are about to begin here in the next probably 7 to 8 laps. And these drivers are racing like men possessed. Brian Tedeschi shoved to the outside lane. And he's going to cut right back in front of track bar. You got to wonder, was that a planned move by the team or was that a forced move by the 22? The 17 of Big John, though, takes the 71 of Rocky Top into turn 2 or turn 3. Oh, the 00 to the outside. Trying to take a look. They all look like they're still going straight. We're bouncing through the field. There's a little bit of calamity. Big one, Alpha turn 4 down the front stretch. That's probably going to bring a caution out. Caution is out here at Daytona. Caution number 1 on the night. Let's go to our in-race reporter, Mr. Tyler Dohar, as he's probably texting and driving right now. Hold on, Tyler.
I don't know what you said, Zane, but everybody's mad as hell at the 22 right now, so we're...
That's what we were talking about, Dohar, is it looks like the 22 was racing pretty rough out there, trying to fight from going a lap down. He almost put the block on the high line when they made the move of the 11 of Captain. How mad are those guys right now in your chat?
They're furious at him. He just took out Freddie there, and we're all kind of mad. But, good racing, just a lot of checking up in the early, like in the front part of the pack. I don't know what's going on, but we're going like a $185 back here and staying in the draft. It's really weird, but take it to green, Zane.
Yep, good luck, my man. We'll catch you here in the next caution. And the green flag is out here once again as we watch Tyler Dohar going green here at Daytona on his in-car camera. And now that's going to move Brian Tedeschi out of the way. That's going to let the leaders come up and play. The 71 of Rocky Top, the 37, the 17 of Big John. Look at him move right now. That outside line trying to get organized once again. Still 2x2, but look, Rocky Top's got help with the 37, the 4 of J-Mac, and the 13 of your series leader right now of Lucky Dog as they move to the inside, making that push. The 42, there's Rose. We haven't seen a lot of him in this race. He's in the top 5. So we bounce through the field trying to get back up to the front runners here. Off of turn 2, down the backstretch. Through turn 3, still 2, 3 wide through some of the parts of the track right now. Couple of guys checking up at the back here. Here we kind of catch this action. The 36 is going to collect and take out a driver. They're going to clear the track. It looks like we're still green, but the 36 was able to keep going straight. He's going to lose the draft. Oh, the 22 of Brian Tedeschi again having a rough night here at Daytona. He's going to collect the outside wall. Here we are with the 37, the 13, the 42, trying to run down that 4 of J-Mac Attack, sitting in third. The 17 sitting in second, and still the 71 of Rocky Top. And it sounds like the horses are lifting. That's caution number 2. I'm getting very close to my pick of 4. And why these drivers go under caution real quick, let's take a quick commercial break from our sponsor, FilterTime. We'll be right back. Audio is fixed. I was screaming at Dohar for a moment as you see him there texting on his cell phone. Asking him what's happening right now as we get ready to go green flag racing once again here at Daytona. Lucky Dog and a more smoke going to lead us to green, and we're green flag once again. And Amore's going to fall right to the inside line. The 1 and 13 picking up where they left off before that caution came out. Behind him is going to be the 6 car of Cosmic. On the outside, that's Big John. Behind him, the 14 of K. Rainey. They're trying to make that outside line work. Can't quite do it. But look at Amore giving a shot to his Chevy teammate, trying to create that separation. But here comes those Fords, the 6 and the 4 of J-Mac and Cosmic. They're not getting left in the dust as they come through turn 3. Through turn 3, off of turn 4, still single file up front all the way back to 6, and then they're 2 by 2 behind them. And we watch Tyler Dohar here really focused and determined on his wheel from the in-car driver cam. Look at him sawing that wheel, looking at the force feedback, a little bit of shake of the head. We'll talk with him later, but you can tell Daytona is one of those tracks you got to have both hands at 10s and 2. You have to be focused because anything can happen in front of you and behind you. And now here goes the 21. They pop to the outside. That outside line has been strong a few times. They have the help of 4 cars, but there goes the one of them more smoke. He's going to squeeze the outside line a little bit, slow that momentum down. But the 95 and the 21 are not giving up quite yet. That Ford Mustang and Toyota Camry. Oh, and there goes J-Mac to the outside wall. And J-Mac was able to keep it to the outside. He's going to fall back like a rock in the Lakahatchee, but the good hands award goes to that 4 car. He kept it out of everyone's way, and we're still green here at Daytona. The 38 of Element, my pick to win. Popping to the outside. He doesn't have the help, but there's Big John trying to look out, but no one's coming with them quite yet. Everyone is bottom feeding at this point. I think they just want to get a few more laps under their belt here as we're racing. The 13, the 1, the 6, the 42, and the other 21. Lucky Dog's going to lead that lap once again. 47 laps remain here at Daytona, almost to the halfway mark. We've had 3 cautions, but these drivers right now trying to get into that rhythm. The question's been on everyone's mind going into this race here this week is who is going to be able to dethrone the 13 of Lucky Dog. He's been a strong competitor. He's driven like a champion since the start of the season. Even at the end of last season, really turned it on strong in the playoffs, walked away with the championship trophy. He's came home with 2 trophies so far this season, and here he is again, up front leading with the one of a more smoke behind him. And while we're racing here, let's do an old-fashioned crank her up just to go through the field a little bit. And as soon as we go to crank her up, the caution comes out once again here at Daytona. While the caution has come out, let's take a look at the big board here, the FilterTime big board. 1 week from today, the drivers will be heading to Martinsville Speedway. That's going to be the paperclip on May 3rd. The start of May, we'll send them to one of the shortest tracks of racing after hitting this one, the 2.5 miles of Daytona. 2 weeks from today, they head back to Florida to Homestead Miami Speedway on May 10th. And then they kiss the bricks on the 17th in 3 weeks as we go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for their version of the Brickyard. That's the FilterTime big board where we're going in the next 3 weeks. You can catch all the action here as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. The drivers are still trying to get their rhythm. And a lot more caution. So I'm at the 4 cautions so far. If HD was here, he'd be telling me I picked wrong, but I think these guys can go the rest of the way green if they settle down. And we're riding with the 51. I don't have a name for the 51 car at all on my list, so he is an unknown driver at this moment for me. And there's the 34 leading this pack now. Finessed on the bottom line, got help from the 13 of Lucky, the 1 of a more smoke. That outside line though still trying to get lined up, but there's HD's pick as every week, the 42 of Rose sitting there in 4th, battling side by side with the 51. Down the backstretch, no one can seem to keep in line on the outside. The bottom line now starting to make that push. But now the outside line starting to get stacked up. The 51 drops to the inside, but Big John pops to the outside. They have to close the gap. They got to stay in line. Dohar there, that third car. You see him bobble there a little bit. He's trying to get that 88 machine up to the bumper. I think that's going to be Big John, that Ford Mustang, and it is. Big John sitting in 7th, trying to push his Ford teammate of Stout Whiskey. This is something we've seen a few times happen here. That outside line can get motivated and get organized. They can run down this inside line and these leaders. The problem is when they start to get discombobulated or someone from the inside pops out. We've seen a few times that the inside line has almost pushed their way up top to slow that momentum of the outside lane. Looking up the rear deck lid of our race leader, of Finesse in the 34. There you see the 13 behind him. You can kind of see now everyone is single filed out all the way back. Just a few stragglers on the outside, but no one really making a chance right now. Look at Lucky. He's going to pop to the outside line. I think he tried to get the 34 Finesse as we look from the FilterTime blimp cam. I think he tried to get Finesse to move up a lane to block him, but Finesse wasn't having it. I think Finesse realizes, you know what, you're going to have to pass me on the outside, and no one's been able to do it except for one group, and I don't think you can do it, Lucky. .38 laps remaining in this race, and everyone is single file. The 34, the 13, the 1, the 42, the 51, and I think that's going to be the 6 of Cosmic, rounding out your top 5. I wish I had a number on that 51 machine, but they just didn't let us know on the list today. We'll talk to Dohar at some point, find out if he knows who that 51 is. But here comes that outside line. Look at him, more smoke. Again, the 1 car moving out. Oh, track bar is going to bump the 95. That's going to shoot him up the track a little bit. A few times, though, Amore has gotten really tight or just pushed up the track on that outside line. And I can tell you what, there's only going to be so much give and take before there's just take. And here goes Track Bar again. Looking to the outside. He's going to squeeze the 1. And he's leapfrogging. Move him in front of the 1 of Amore Smoke. Now he's in the rear mirror of the 13 of Lucky Dog. Lucky looks at the outside again. Back in line again behind the 34. Again, I think Lucky's trying to psych him out. Trying to get Finesse to move out of line to open that door. But the finesse driving of Finesse in that 34 Ford Mustang is doing everything he can to keep that Ford on the yellow line, except here on the tri-oval. He moves it to the middle lane, and now that's going to open the door for Lucky. He closes the gap and forcing Lucky below the yellow line there. Lucky's going to have to lift to get the spot, and that's going to slow the momentum of everyone behind him. Finesse high off the corner of 2, down the backstretch. Now going to snake it all the way back down to the bottom. Monkey see, monkey do. Everyone from 1st all the way back to 10th doing that little bit of a snake train, following the draft as we come through 3 and 4. Toasted Gamer says, really good racing so far in chat. I'm hoping the outside line can get moving. We've seen it a few times, Toasted. That outside line has been able to get in position, get a little bit organized, and make a push. Last time we saw it was with the 17, the 11, and the 95. But right now, everyone falling in line. Lucky Dog, again, trying to go high. Trying to get the 34 to follow to put the block on. But here's Finesse again, staying on the bottom. I think he's going to see that playbook every time. And he's not going to get out of lane. Deeper in the pack, they're about 2 wide. But up front, this is what we're watching. As Lucky now is starting to push a little bit of gap between the 37 and himself. Getting Finesse out there and in front. The 37 of Track Bar now trying to get back up to the bumper, but doesn't have the help that he wants. I think right now he's slowing everybody down. Because here comes Big John. Let's take a look off the rear deck lid. Look at the action back there behind the 13 of Lucky Dog. That's Big John, that yellow car on the outside. He's starting to fall back like a rock in a Lakahatchee, but there's one car up there. And here comes Track Bar for a run on the outside. And Track Bar took off like a rocket ship. He's going to try to squeeze the 34. Can't quite make the pass. Now he's stuck. No gaps for him quite yet. He's got to hope that his Chevy teammates get him in line. Woo! You could have put a piece of paper between the 1 and the 37. Almost spun lucky in the 13 in front of him. But I think these Chevys are trying to figure something out because they gave the room to let Track Bar back in. So these three Chevys, the 13, the 37, and the 1, may be trying to plan something to get around this 34. As the cars are starting to lift, it looks like we have a caution out once again. Let's see if we can't talk to our in-race reporter, Mr. Dohar. Dohar, you got a copy?
Got a copy, Zane.
Hey, man, what's going on out there from your perspective, as this is the 5th caution of the night so far?
Guys up front are just brake checking. They're dragging the brakes. I don't know if the 1's protecting for the 13 and the 34 or what's going on. The 51, by the way, is Rowdy Matt. I don't know, but it's stacking us up back here, and they're wrecking in the back as a result. So we got to cut out the shenanigans.
Gotcha. Well, good luck to you, Dohar. We'll talk to you during the rest of the race. Hopefully you can get that 88 machine back up front. That was Tyler Dohar, the 88, our in-race reporter. As we're getting ready to go green flag racing once again here from Daytona, I am Zane the Bearded One. We want to thank you for joining us here for the FilterTime eSpark series as the green flag is out here at Daytona. And Alpha turn 2, Track Bar leading them, Lucky behind him, little windshield bob and weave. Now that outside line, the 51, we know it's Rowdy Matt now, Matthew Militia. He's trying to help that outside line with the 34 in front of him and the 48. Matt now looks to the middle. He's going to make it 3 wide. 3 wide through the middle. He's there, stuck in between the 34 and the 48, the 37. Again, Matt pushing it. That's going to bring out a big one. Another caution, another yellow. With that, we're going to take a few moments of a quick break from our sponsors of FilterTime, and we'll be back to green flag racing here at Daytona. And we're back here, Daytona green flag racing once again. The 51 of Rowdy Matt got too rowdy for the competition as he helped bring out that big one going 3 wide up front, but he's going to be leading that inside lane charge. You know that didn't help him make any friends. You got to wonder if the 1 of a More Smoke, the 9 of More Dog, and I think that's the 19 in tow of your pole sitter, Word Burton, how long they're going to let that 51 sit up front as we look down from the FilterTime blimp cam. A More Smoke giving a push to the 51. Behind them, the 9 and the 19. And I think, is that Brian Tedeschi? Has Brian Tedeschi finally found his way? It was going to say into the top 5. He may still be here. But the outside line can't get, that's going to be the 6. The outside line can't get organized enough to run these leaders down. But Tom Flitty and that beautiful throwback 43 machine for Adam Petty. There's the 22 getting sideways again down the backstretch. He's going to keep her going straight. Everyone's got their wheels under them. Off of turn 4 down to the tri-oval. Still the 51, the 1, the 9, the 19, and the 6, your top 5. Through turn 2, still the 51, that Toyota Camry leading the charge. Behind him, the One of a More Smoke. And I will say this, the One of a More Smoke has been running in second or third all night. He's done everything he's needed to put that Chevrolet in a position to win as these laps are starting to wind down here at Daytona. The question is, does he have enough to get around the leader? He hasn't shown that dynamic speed, such as Track Bar did earlier, that quick run where he almost got around the 34. But I think they're trying here to wait for the 51 to make a mistake. You see him more pushing, beating, banging, beating the bumper off of the 51. 22 laps remain here at Daytona. And while we're racing, let's do a cranker up here at Daytona. Hopefully we'll stay green a little bit. No, oh, the 48 to the inside. Doesn't look like anybody. Oh, there's the big one off of 3. And that's going to probably bring out another caution here. Let's see. Horses are still revved. I don't hear anybody lifting yet. And let's do that cranker up by filter time. That was the filter time cranker up here at Daytona. Still the 51 of Rowdy Matt, your race leader. Behind him, the One of a More Smoke, and I am Zane the Bearded One without my partner in crime, HD Motorsports, calling the action from flag to flag here at Daytona for the FilterTime eSpark Series. Remember, during this quarantine, if you need to replace your filters, don't go out and deal with the chaos of the real world. Go to FilterTime.com. Have beautiful, awesome, great filters delivered directly to your door and change them on your own. I got FilterTime filters. I know HD does. This booth smells amazing. That's how I know there's some breathe air, breathe good, FilterTime filters up in the booth. But we're watching right now that Toyota Camry still trying to hold on strong. But even after making the big contact, creating a 3-wide situation, putting that Camry where it shouldn't have belonged, here he is up front, and you have to wonder, when is he going to get the bump and run done to him? And there goes Moordog. Look to the outside. He's going to get shoved out of the way. He's going to give a shot to the 19 of Ward Burton. Ward's not going to take kindly to that. They're going to leave Moordog all alone behind the 6. And he cuts the nose off the 43. A little bit of slamming, beating, banging. The 34 is going to get involved. We see the 43 right here, trying to still maintain Tom, getting his wheels back under him. Got some help from the 71. Rocky Top trying to push him back up there. He's the one who got involved with the 9 car. The 9 now fell all the way back. Moordog, Track Bar, Tedeschi, Lucky, sitting back here in this second group of 4. They're trying to run down those top 5. Bounce through the field. Let's get back up to the top 5 here. And here it is, a 4-car breakaway of the 51, the 1, the 19, and the 6. There comes the 2 of Stout Whiskey off of pit road. We talked to him before the pre-race. He said he's out here racing for himself, not racing for points. He's having a rough night at Daytona, as most of the drivers here in the FilterTime eSpark Series are having. But here's the 4-car breakaway. A lone Toyota 2 Chevys and a Ford. And this is where you start to ask yourself as a fan, an owner, a crew chief, and a manufacturer, when does the manufacturer war start to happen? You have that Chevy and a Ford, those 2 Toyotas of the 19, the 51. When do they move that Chevy of the 1 car of a more smoke out of the way and make this a 2 Toyota Tango? 17 laps remain here at Daytona. The laps are winding down fast, but no one has been able to get around Rowdy Matt in that 51 since he's taken the race lead. Back here, we saw a little 2x2 action. This second pack now, this action is starting to heat up. Look at Lucky now, trying to make a hard charge with that outside line. He's got help from the 17, the 37. And it looks like that's going to be trying to get a number here. It's the 22 of Brian Tedeschi. There we go. Is this the second pack? No, it's not. Here we go. No, this is still not the second pack. Difficult part about NASCAR heat is the cameras. The 13, the 17, the 42, the 37, the 9, and the 22 leading this second pack charge, trying to run down the bumper of the 6. Cosmic seeing this 13 white Geico machine starting to make a push. But can the second pack run them down and make the pass is the question. Up front, it's still the 51, the 1, the 19. And now we see him nose to tail. Everyone in line. Guys coming off the pit road now, trying to make the merger. Don't have a lot of details on HD Motorsports chat. Unfortunately, he hit us up about 8 o'clock saying, hey, I don't think I'm going to make it. Could be real world, could be weather. I don't know. I haven't talked to him during the week. I'm a horrible friend. I'll probably text him after this race and find out. If we could get him in the booth, he'd be here calling the action with me. But right now, it's just me, and we're watching this second pack. Look at him starting to close the gap on the 6. Cosmic better keep an eye on his rearview mirror, because here comes that Geico Chevrolet with help from Big John in the 17, the 37 of Track Bar, the 42 of Rose. Oh, and they had to get a little creative there. And look at the outside line. Like a rocket ship, here comes the Lucky Dog to the outside. He has help with the 17 and the 42. But will it be enough to dethrone the 51 of Rowdy Matt? Lucky's got Matt cleared almost. Can't quite get moved down to that bottom groove. But Big John's not stopping. He's beaten the bumper off the 13 as they come through turn 3 and 4. It's a 2-car 2x2 drag race. Lucky's now got the clearing. Is it going to be enough? 13 laps left remaining, and the outside line has done it. The 13, the 17, the 42 have moved in front of the 51 of Rowdy Matt. They've dethroned that Toyota Camry. He looks to the outside, but he's got no help. No one's coming with the 51. He's hung out to dry, like the laundry on a weekday when I need to do my socks. He's all alone out in the sun. Lucky back up front. Behind him is Big John Stud, my middle name Mud, and then the hot young rookie of the FilterTime eSpark series, CMX Rose, and that 42. Behind them, your pole sitter Word Burton, and the 22 of Brian Tedeschi making an appearance in the top 5. These drivers still have to make a green flag pit stop. They don't have enough fuel to make it to the end. So the question becomes, when does this front pack, all 8 of these cars, make the hard left-hand turn down pit road? There's one signal right there. That's going to be, I want to say the 34 Finesse. He's going to give that signal. I'm going to come down pit road this time. When's the rest of the pack's going to do it? Big John clips the apron. He does clip the apron. He's going to stay in line, though. Finesse has no help, though. Oh, there goes Rose to the outside wall. Looks like he may have gotten a lag bump from the 19 of Word Burton. He's going to try to stick in the draft, but now he's falling back like a rock in the Lakahatchee and can't quite hook up to the bumper of the 95 of that Toyota Camry. Now it's a 5-car breakaway. The 13, the 17, the 19, the 22. Big wreck down the front stretch, or back stretch. They're bobbing and weaving and dodging. No caution yet. And here comes the 13, the 19 of Ward Burton. The 95 stayed out, the 22 of Brian Tedeschi. There's the 4, the 17, the 42. The leaders are down pit road. And it looks like the 4 of J-Mac had a little bit of trouble there on pit road. We'll wait to see that race off of pit road, try to get an update on who our race leader is here, as everyone is down on pit road right now. Seeing the 17 of Big John is coming off of pit road. The 22 is going to beat him. The 13 is going to make it. Oh, it's going to be a close battle. It's a wreck off of pit road. Trying to get to him here. Where are they? There's this group right here. Under 10 laps to go. The 18 is our race leader at this moment. See if we can't get our camera on him. The 18 is our race leader. He's behind this lap down pack in front of him. The question becomes, does he still have to make a pit stop? We haven't talked about Leafs Justin all race, but he's leading this race. We're going to watch him to wait to see if he makes it. Does he have enough fuel to get to the end? There you see him passing Dohar. Dohar is going to fall in line behind him. 8 laps remaining here at Daytona. And all eyes right now on that 18 M&M's machine. He doesn't want a caution to come out. He's created the separation from him and that first pack. They're so far back, they don't have enough time to run him down here if it stays green. And this is exactly where he wants to be. Going into turn 2. The other pack is in turn 3. We'll ride on board with the 18. And here comes the 18 down pit road right now. He's got to take a splash of fuel. He's got to get just enough fuel to finish the race. But here comes everyone else. We're going to stay with the 18 here as he comes down pit road. Lucky Dog and the leaders are off of turn 3 right now, coming off of 4. Will it be enough? He's now rolling off of pit road. Can the 18 hold this race lead? Six laps remaining. And it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. The 18's not going to hold on. But the battle up front now is going to be the 13. He's going to be your race leader with the 19 of Ward Burton behind him. The 42, the 22, the 95, and the 17, your top 6. Let's try to get our camera on Mr. Lucky Dog here. Lucky Dog leading this single car freight train. Everyone on the bottom riding the yellow line. No one wants to move to the outside. 13, 19, 42, 22, 95, 17 as they run. 5 laps left in this race. Can Lucky Dog do a three-peat here at Daytona? Lap traffic in front of the 13 here. The 22 pops to the outside. He's going to try to use some of that draft in front of him. He's door to door with the 42, but it's not enough. He's going to fall back in line. 4 laps remaining here at Daytona. The 13 leads him into turn 1. Off of turn 1, 2, down the backstretch. Still the 19 in tow. This Camry not wanting to get out of the way. He's trying to separate these Chevys, but that's the young gun, the 42 of Rose. HD's pick almost every week. That Capital 142 Chevrolet. He's sitting back in third. Can he move the 19 of Ward Burton out of the way? Word started on pole, and here he is behind the 13. 3 laps remaining here now. Everything is coming down to these last 3 laps. Off the rear deck lid of Lucky Dog. You see the line of traffic behind him. The 19, the 42. Oh, there goes the 21 to the inside. The 95 and the 22 behind them. It looks like someone may be out of gas there in the bottom of turn 3. We'll have to see if that brings out a yellow. Double popsicle 6 in the air this time by 2 laps remaining at Daytona International Speedway. Take a look. There's the 13, the 19, the 42 behind them. Though the 95 and the 17. They're saving their equipment. They're waiting for their time to strike like a cobra. And there they go. The 95 looks to the outside. He's got help with the 17, the 24. And there's the 9. Looks like that's actually, what number? That's the 3 car. Coming to the white flag this time. They're 2 by 2, 4 rows deep. But the outside line can't get the momentum. The 17 of Big John's going to fall down behind the 42. White flag, 1 lap remaining. Lucky Dog leading. The pole sitter, Ward Burton. Lucky going for 3 at the start of the FilterTime eSpark series. Ward Burton, a rookie in the FilterTime eSpark series, trying to get his first win. He has 2 poles of the season down the backstretch. This is where Lucky's going to start opening and using his mirror. Oh, he slams him. He just pushes him. Word didn't like it, the 19. That's going to bring a caution out, I think. Yellow is out. That's going to finish the race. And Lucky Dog's going to win it. Almost a flashback to what we saw in the beginning of the season. Race is over. Yellow is out. Lucky will win. Rose will finish second. Word Burton third. Big John fourth. Jose 720 fifth. Tedeschi sixth. Rocky Top seventh. Tom Tom eighth. Banners ninth. And Cosmic rounding out your top 10. We're going to take a quick break from our sponsor. I'm going to grab my breath, grab our top 3, and we'll have some interviews. Back here at Daytona, and I have Dohar with me right now just to kind of chat a little bit while we're waiting on our top 3. Dohar, the 88 machine just didn't have a great race tonight.
No, absolutely not. We were just absolutely junked out there a couple of times. The one car just could not hold it on the bottom for the life of him, and we got, just annihilated while we were on the outside trying to make it work. I knew we had speed in the car, but once we rode around pretty much all race with 96 aero, but Glad for the guys that we got a green flag pit stop in. Definitely an improvement from the last Daytona race. That's how you have to look at it holistically. You got to look at it from a league standpoint. We're not here for performance. That's a bit selfish to, hope that we got our own performance out of the deal. You just want it to be a good race. We were the last caution. Tom lagged, and we all crashed in the second pack there. So ruined a potential good finish there. But, unfortunately, just when there's so many mitigating factors, you got so much, internet is just on a strain as of late with, the situations going on in the world and everything going on. It's hard to expect these guys to have perfect internet all the time. There were a couple guys lagging, is what it is. But just glad we came out of Daytona with only like 5 cautions. Certainly an improvement from last time we were here. That's how we gotta that's how we gotta build it. So we're just gonna keep on building, and we appreciate you guys all tuning in and being a part of the eSpark Sunday night. Thank you, Zane, for doing this solo and riding with me a little bit. It was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys appreciated it. So we'll interview the top 3 finishers now.
Yep, and we're trying to get the third place finisher here with us right now. Where we're just waiting on everybody getting a So, and Dohar's doing that. We're going to mute his mic a little bit. But it was a great race. We had a lot of cautions here going on. We're waiting on third place right now just so they can, waiting on the admins to pull him down into the broadcast booth for me. And there he is. We're with him. The pole center. He finished third in that 19 Toyota Camry, Mr. Word Burton. Word, man. You're making a name for yourself for those poles this season. Word? Mr. Burton? Do I call you Ward? He doesn't want to talk to us. Well, we'll try him again. He left. So we'll try our second place finisher, Mr. CMGX. Oh, wait, we got Word. I'm going to go away. We got Word Burton again.
Okay, apologize there.
You there, Word? Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Yes, I can.
All right. Good to hear you. I was saying before you ran off there, we got to do these interviews. I know it's a little hectic, and I got a really weird beard and a face, and I'm scary. But you're making a name for yourself with these poles. You start out on pole. You had a great run tonight. You found yourself staying up in the top 3 at the end there. You were running second. You got door slammed on the last lap. Walk us through that backstretch finish there. Was that a little bit of retribution, or was that just a caution coming out?
Well, that was the 13 had to throw a block. They had the run coming up to the high side. Our goal was just stay to the bottom and try to protect the push. And unfortunately, Dan just came down at the wrong time. I thought he was clear, but he just wasn't. But, it's no big deal. You're all trying to race for the win. We're all having fun up there. This pack was, mighty fast as well as the car tonight. And the strategy ended up winning, though. We all pitted together, took right side tires. We had to do what we had to do. Third place is a great start, though, and a good push to the season, especially running top 10 now for the past 2 weeks, and we just couldn't get those top 10 results. So a good points day. I'll take it 100%.
Yeah, and is there anyone you want to thank for this third place finish here tonight at Daytona?
I want to thank Dohar, first off, for putting eSpark and the Cup Series together. It's been a privilege. 2 months ago, I would have never imagined I'd be racing against the best of the best every single week, especially a bunch of guys there in the NASCAR EHE Pro League. I want to thank Team Firewood and everyone else. Yesterday in the Xfinity side, wanted Talladega to make the championship at Homestead next week, and hoping to carry that momentum all the way through now for the rest of the season, because we keep on coming on strong. We just got to keep on showing the results, and I'm real proud of everything that we put together. The hard work's really showing.
Hey, well, you did great tonight. He started on pole. He came home with a third place finish. Thank you very much, Word. You go celebrate with your team.
Indeed, thank you so much.
Thank you. And now we got the second place finisher, Mr. Rose, the young gun, the rookie of the FilterTime eSpark series. Rose, walk us through that last couple of laps there. You're sitting back there in third, and somehow you found yourself walking away with the second.
I was content with staying in third pretty much there at the end, because I didn't want to risk my finish because I need to make up points. But I saw an opportunity to get a run on Lucky, and I thought I would have had it if the caution didn't come out, but it did. And I'll settle for a second, though. It's pretty good for Daytona.
Well, earlier in the race, you really weren't in the mix. It wasn't until probably about 20 laps to go you finally started to peak that 42 Capital One machine into the top 5. Was it just rough getting through the field there, or was it a little bit of strategy on your part to kind of ride back and wait and see what happens?
A little bit of both. I was trying to save some gas depending on when the caution came out just to cut out a stop. But it was definitely hard to move up because a lot of people were bottom feeding, me included, a lot of the time. But yeah.
Hey, is there anyone you want to thank for your second place finish here tonight?
You guys up in the booth, Dohar obviously for running this thing, and the people in my party chat for helping me throughout the night.
Well, you did great. You're still keeping on with you're kind of recovering is the best thing I could say after the first two races. You're doing well with a second place finish, so good luck to you for the rest of the season, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And now he's still burning them down. 3 for 3. It's a three-peat. He almost repeats what Track Bar did a year ago, but this time it's the 13 Geico Chevrolet of Lucky Dog walking away with the trophy at Daytona. Lucky, HD asked you last week, do you have enough room for all these trophies?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a small house. I mean, there's always room I could find somewhere. But I don't know. I mean, wow. Holy cow, I'm tickled. I can't really see. That was really awesome. It's really, wow. It's been a great week so far. Obviously with the strong comeback performance in the Pro League with a third after coming from outside the top 10. You're doing a lot of stuff for Jermaine and Geico, and last night we ended up winning the RSR race at Talladega, the Geico 500 in the Geico car, which was really intense and really awesome. And now we win in the Geico car again at Daytona. I mean, this is incredible. As we won the Super Speedway weekend, this is just awesome. I can't believe it. And
yeah. Well, let me ask you real quick. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you did get to have an interview with Ty Dillon. We saw that on Twitter. But tonight, you were kind of, I wouldn't say one of the strongest cars in the field because you did have to battle your way up through to get through the traffic to find yourself up front. There was a few times, and I kind of want to go back to the Stay Finesse incident, where down the backstretch, you would pop out of line and then drop back down. Were you trying to psych him out to move and put the block on to open that door for you?
I was kind of bored. So the thing was that Track Bar was checking up so much. Like, he would leave like half a second gap behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of doing that to break the draft in a way. So like I was trying to, honestly, the best way when you're by yourself, because at that point there was enough of a gap in front of Boehner. Boehner was subbing for Finesse, or he may be racing for him now. I'm not sure, but when you're running solo, I find the best line is to run it like a normal oval. It's just you arc it out on exit, arc it in, and I was just doing that just to create more momentum, if anything, to kind of make it harder for him to catch up, if anything. If I stayed in the low line, it was going to be easier for him to get a bigger draft because I'm holding it so tight on the inside. If I arced it off, I figured it was going to take him longer to catch up because I had more momentum built up. Then I would come back down so that I could push Boehner and push him up towards the front more so that we could still be fast. And that was really the main reason why I was doing it.
Gotcha.
In that sense.
And coming off the backstretch of the final lap there, you came off a 2,
yeah.
You opened the door there. What was going through your mind? Were you that lucky of a lucky dog to have that caution come out? Did you see your hopes kind of in your wind going up in flames when you opened that door and kind of had to put that hard block?
Yeah, honestly, like, I felt really bad, and Rose and Ward were laughing. Like, we had a lot. That finish was a lot of fun for us, and we had just the last 30 laps were just really fun. Like, we were all good, we were all high spirits, so there was no bad blood or anything, but Rose may have had a little lag search, quote unquote, maybe. I don't really believe him. But I think he just got a really good run, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to try and block it as best as I can and as fair as I can. And he ended up getting hooked in my bumper. He hit Tim a little bit. They saved it, fortunately, which is great. I didn't want him to wreck. And then the caution came out. So I think I was a little lucky, but then again, I think I would have held him off. Wasn't the best block by me, but I think it was relatively clean. So, I mean, I can't be too disappointed with that. And but also, I got to get this out there. Want to say a huge shout out to everyone from Jermaine Racing for allowing me to be on the Pro League team. This is still incredible to me, and I really hope to score the team's first win and really try and run for a championship and have a really great season. And thankful for them to giving me the chance to talk to Ty Dillon, do a whole lot of fun things on social media. Geico as well for being a great sponsor, for allowing me to race for them. It's such a huge honor to be racing for such an incredible organization. Chevrolet, I can't say enough. It's so cool to be driving a bow tie. I mean, this is awesome. All the fans out there watching the races, you for streaming these races, your enthusiasm that you bring to here, everyone a part of this whole league, all the guys from the Truck and Xfinity series for watching the race. You guys are doing a great job, and the other ranks for making this league as big as it is. You can't forget you guys, and hopefully we can see some of you guys work up through the ranks, making the Cup one day, and everyone from Team Firewood who's helping me here. And yeah, it's just been a great weekend, a great week. And yeah, that was wow. Can't believe it. 3 in a row. Technically 4, but
yeah,
awesome.
You made the end of this interview very easy for me because my last question was going to be who'd you want to thank, but you kind of did it for me already.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're good. I do it with everyone. Everyone gets that question. So with you, I kind of expected either the first thing you do or it's the last thing you do, my friend. So don't even stress about it. Hey, I understand. You got to make your sponsors happy and make them proud. But you did great tonight. Congratulations. That's 4 wins in a row from Martinsville at the end of the last season to now. Now, next week we go to Martinsville where you won the championship. Do you think you can make it 4 in a row at the start of the season going into the paperclip?
There's always a chance. I mean, if you're going to show up to the race, there's always a chance of winning no matter what. But, I mean, it's going to be much harder, I think. Track bar, of course, is showing his racing. I think he is, and Rose was very strong in the Pro League qualifiers. Or Pro League preseason, I should say. Albeit it was a truck, but, I think it's always been a good track for him. I think he won there in NNR. Mm-hmm. He's going to be the guy I'm looking to race against, and I think he'll be very strong. It's not going to be easy. There's always a chance there's always a chance because when you show up, there's always a chance. But I think it's going to be much harder. I don't really expect a win because I have a massive target in my back, but I'm just going to try, race as fair as I can and, hopefully put on a good show with Rose and Track Bar and whoever it is at the front. It's going to be very hard. I'm going to do the best I can and try and make it a good race.
Well, you're doing everything you need to keep that championship run. Congratulations once again. That was Lucky Dog. He's got 3 wins on the season, and he's got 4 in a row if you count the end of last season. I'm going to bring Dohar in one last time for his final thoughts. Mr. Doharian Snowcat, final thoughts before we wrap out of here at Daytona.
Yeah, Zane, overall it was a good race. I'm proud of the guys. When you got 35, 36 cars out there that are all running the same speed, there are going to be accidents, there are going to be incidents. There's going to be a lot of guys just driving like they got a hornet around their head, the 22 in particular. But, I mean, overall, I can't be too mad at it. Super speedways are what they are. Presets, customs, it don't matter. They get to be a cluster most times. But overall, it was an okay race. I give it like a 6 out of 10. So proud of it. Less cautions than last year. Great job calling it, Zane. You did awesome, man.
Hey, not a problem. Thank you, Dohar, so much. And I'm going to say my final thoughts here for the race. It was a good race. It was Daytona. More cautions than I expected. I was 4 under. None of my picks really had a good run, which I guess I'm just the curse of those picks. But let's take a look at the FilterTime big board before we walk out of here. Next week, we head to Martinsville Speedway, as we talked about with Lucky Dog. The paperclip going from a 2.5-mile racetrack to less than a mile, about a mile racetrack of Martinsville. We're going to have some hot dogs. Hopefully HD himself will be back in the booth. And then 2 weeks from today, we head back to Florida to go to Homestead, Miami Speedway. That will be on May 10th. And then 3 weeks from today, we go kiss the virtual bricks in Indianapolis for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway race. That was the FilterTime Big Board. I am Zane, the bearded one. For Tyler Dohar, for HD Motorsports, who's not here, for the production crew pushing all the lights and sounds. That's mostly me and my multiple personalities. We want to thank you once again for spending your Sunday night here for the FilterTime eSpark series. Until next time, kisses, hugs, belly rubs. We'll see you at the track.